In this tutorial, I have already explained global attributes like content editable, access key, class and ID. Now I am going to explain some important global attributes which are used on daily basis. I am using here another input type text value. I am intentionally writing a wrong word where I am using 4n instead of 2n. I am closing it and refresh the content, refresh the web page. You can see the word programming. If I click on the word or hover on the word, you will get there is a red line. That means it is showing an error. So here I have not used any global attribute. Now I am using global attribute. Spell check. You can see there are two values for spell check. One is true, another one is false. If I write true, then it is showing an error. That red line is showing. That means it is an error. Spell check is true. If I write false instead of true, if I click on this, if I refresh it and if I click on this, you can see red line has been gone. That means it is not checking. The spell check is off, so it is not showing any error. Now, then what can I say? By default, spell check is true. If I write false, then it will not check the spelling. And one interesting fact, I have used two text boxes, one after another. You can see these two text boxes are working as a span. Whatever I have discussed few minutes before. These two text boxes are working as a span. It is not coming. That means the second text box is not coming on next line. Must remember it that if you write text box one after another, then it will show as span. It will work. The behavior of this text box is just like span. Now the next global attribute is dir. That means direction. I am using, you can see there are three values for dir global attribute. One is auto. Auto means one is auto. Second one is LTR. That means left to right. And third one is RTL, right, and that is right to left. Yeah, auto symbol. Auto means by default it is left to right. So I am at present I am writing P dir LTR. I am closing P. C programming is my favorite language. If I refresh the content, you can see by default the align is left. It starts from left. If I change the value LTR to RTL, save it and refresh the content, it will go to the right side. That means the align is right. The content is right aligned. The next global attribute I am going to discuss, that is hidden. Remember, here I have used input type text. Suppose I want to hide the input element. That means from input element. If I copy it, if I write here hidden, that means the type of the from input element is hidden. Then if I save it and refresh the content, that text box will not show. That text box is hidden now. If I write text here and if I write the global attribute hidden here, suppose I am erasing it. At first I am showing the text box. You can see the text box. Oh, text box is visible. Now I am writing the global attribute hidden. Save it and refresh it. You can see the text box is not visible now. To hide a text box, you can use both concepts. Either you can use hidden as type, or you can use the global attribute hidden. The next global attribute is style. Style is a big section. Actually, in CSS we use style, but if I want to use style within an input element or P element, that means block level element, or div element, block level element, then I can use the style. Suppose div style. If I use height colon 300px semicolon, height colon 300px semicolon, and color not background color. Actually this is basically CSS. I am using here red. So this is an example of inline style. I am not writing anything within the div, so content is free. Now I am saving it. So you can see the div width is 300 pixel, height is 300 pixel, and color is red. This is basically called inline style. Later I will discuss it on CSS section. Now I am not discussing it vastly. So style is a global attribute, and in this section whatever I discuss, all are global attributes. So this is the tutorial of global attribute. Now the next is tab index. Suppose this is the first text box and this is the second text box. I am omitting hidden from here, and I am writing here tab index 2 and here tab index 1. If I save it and refresh it, tab index 1. If I press tab, it will go to the tab index 2. It is vastly used at the time of web page designing. Suppose your mouse is not working, your only keyboard is working. In that case, you have to use tab index. Is using an application or web page, and if that user is flexible with the keyboard, then the user will use the tab, and that is the reason tab index is necessary. So it is advisable to all of you, you must use tab index for each and every element, especially form input element. Next global attribute is draggable. Suppose I am using P, draggable equals to, there are two values for draggable, true and false. Here I am writing C and Java are internally related. I am saving it. You can see if I drag the content, you can see I have written draggable as true, so it can be draggable. Using JavaScript and CSS, it will be very hard for you to understand. That is the reason I am not showing the draggable concept deeply. So if I use draggable equals to true, that means if I set draggable value as true, then it can be draggable. If I use draggable equals to false, then it cannot be draggable. That is the main funda of draggable. Next global attribute is title. I am using an interesting function, interesting tag that is ABBR tag, or you can say abbreviation tag. Here I am using title. Title equals to World Health Organization, which is the abbreviation form of WHO. Now I am saving it, refresh the content. So what is the function of ABBR tag, or what is the function of title tag? Actually, ABBR tag will show a pop-up button. If you hover on the WHO, it is showing a pop-up button. Actually, it's better I erase it, then you will understand the concept. You can see if I hover on the WHO, it is showing a pop-up button which is showing World Health Organization. So ABBR tag is basically used for abbreviation purpose, and title is showing the pop-up. This is an important global attribute, and it is vastly used in HTML. The last global attribute is lang attribute. The by default value is en. En means English. What is the usage of lang attribute? Actually, HTML lang attribute is used to identify the language content within a tag on the web. This information helps search engines to return language specific results. It is also used by screen readers to spell correct pronunciation and accent. Here I have used en. By default it is showing en. En means English. Suppose the entire content is written in French.